If you use a debit card, you need to pay very close attention to this video right here. Because what we are going to be talking about is a situation that is plaguing people across the globe. Now, again, a debit card. What you are going to discover in this video is why the debit card is the worst thing that you could possibly use for a financial transaction, and more importantly, how the scammers and fraudsters are taking advantage of that right now, at this very second. So let's get into it. If you have ever used any type of payment device, such as a checkout counter, an ATM, let me know in the chat if you've used one of those before. There is a threat that is evolving now, and I didn't even think that it would get to this place. So much so that I needed to come on and share this with you. If you're new to the channel, I'm Boyd Cluis, internationally recognized cybersecurity expert and payment security specialist. What I'm going to talk to you all about is this threat that is really going after debit cards. So here's the issue, and I'm actually going to show this on my whiteboard what this threat is. So the problem with debit cards is, I want you to consider it this way. So like this right here is my American Express card. This is a PayPal debit card. Think of the debit card as your money and the credit card as the bank's money. So oftentimes when I'm reporting on these types of scams and things on the channel, I tell you that, hey, people didn't get their money back. And it's usually because they used a debit card or a checking account and they were scammed. You have federal protection for credit cards being abused, where the bank can reimburse you. At the end of the day, again, it's their money. But when it's your debit card, they don't have any incentive to give you your money back quickly. They might give you a provisional credit, and they just might drag their feet on giving you your money back. By the way, y'all, I am legitimately live right now. So if y'all have questions or anything, put them in the chat. I'll get to them. So with that being said, I want to show y'all what this new thread is. It is crazy. I got to explain it. Get my stuff to work real quick. Go over to my board. Check this out. Can you determine which one of these payment devices have been compromised just by looking at it? Is it this one or this one? Chances are you probably can't tell, and that is by design. By design. A few years ago, there were these things that came out, these new variation of skimmers. If you are not familiar with what a skimmer is, it is an overlay that goes on top of a payment device that captures your information. It essentially clones your debit card or credit card, and then the scammers are able to make a duplicate of it. Like literally anything with a magnetic stripe, they can write your card information to that card. Whether it is a debit card, an ID, a school ID, a Visa gift card, they will literally put your card information onto that piece of plastic and be able to use it. Now, you would typically see these skimmers on ATMs at gas stations, but because this information is widely known, they switch their tactics. Because what I would tell you is, before you use any ATM or payment device, yank on that thing to make sure there's no skimmer attached. Because they have skimmer overlays. It's a device that goes right on top of the payment device. It looks completely natural. And again, people found out about those. So they started pulling on the payment terminals and pulling off the overlays. So the scammers had to evolve to this thing that I'm about to show you right here. And this is scary. Look at this. What you are looking at right here on these devices is a little microchip here. As you can see, it's about credit card size. This little device can capture all of your card information, including the PIN if you are using a debit card. Now remember what I said. If you use a debit card, it is very difficult to get your money back, and oftentimes you won't if you are dealing with the bank. So in recent news, there's been a significant uptick on these little devices here. So let me explain what this is and how it works. What you are looking at right here is called a shimmer. That is SHIMMER. So the skimmer is the big bulky thing. This right here is the shimmer. And the problem with this shimmer, it's not almost invisible, it is invisible. But I'm going to tell you how to fight it. So if you were wanting to know which one of these devices was compromised, I am sad to tell you, you won't be able to tell. You won't be able to tell by looking at it because it goes inside. As a matter of fact, let me show you. This little shimmer device goes inside of the slot there. You would never see it. You would never see it. So these fraudsters are putting these shimmers on ATMs that you might use. They are putting them in gas stations, gas station pumps, as well as retail stores inside of those actual payment terminals. So there's a few ways that you can actually protect yourself. So let me get into it. Number one, and the last measure you should really do. But first, number one, you can avoid this shimmer thing by actually using tap to pay. If you look at your debit card or credit card, if it has like that little Wi-Fi looking emblem on it, probably can't see it because my camera's focusing on me. If it has a little Wi-Fi emblem on it, that means that you can tap to pay. The skimmer won't affect that type of transaction because it is a physical device. When you are tapping to pay, you bypass all that, right? Number two, if you are using a debit card, use the tap to pay for a debit card. The reason why, if the skimmer is there, the shimmer is there, you put your PIN in, they're not going to get your PIN. You should never want to do that. So if you happen to use your debit card, which you really shouldn't, never use your PIN. Hit the cancel button and put it as credit. Did you know you could do that? Let me know in the chat. Just because you're using a debit card doesn't mean you have to use your PIN. You can hit cancel, right? And truth be told, that's another way that scammers are actually able to abuse debit cards. They just run them as credit. There's loopholes everywhere, y'all. If y'all haven't noticed, it's like every week I bring you something to say, hey, this is what the scammers are doing. This is what you should do to protect yourself. And then it feels like the next week they've already figured out a way. So this is a constant battle. Anyway, so the next thing that you can do is simply stop using debit cards. For the love of everything good, do not use debit cards. Now look, if you are opposed to credit and all that good stuff, you can get a 0% interest credit card. But there are so many benefits for actually using a credit card. You get miles, you get points back, cash back. Heck, most of the equipment here in my office and my YouTube studio, there's about $70,000 worth of equipment around here between cameras, video walls, lights, and all this stuff. It was paid for with credit card points from my business expenses. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's what you should do there. Now, with that being said, I said that y'all could ask me questions in the chat, but then I couldn't see the chat, but I can see it now. With that being said, what questions do you have? Is the name Boyd Clueless a play on words bored clueless? Hey man, I hope you ain't trying to be funny. I hope you ain't trying to be funny. Let me show you what the play on is. Let me pull this out. How's that for some play? You see that? Let me get the comment off so you can see it. You see that? That is Boyd Clueless, author, Forbes Books. All right. Bored Clueless. Boy, the audacity of these people. So were you testing me? As if he reads my comment, I'll really know he's live. Were you testing me? All right. Sweet. What other questions y'all have? Yeah, never use a pen. Never. Pen is the worst thing you can do. Can we get the bank? Let me put that up there. What did it say? Can we get the banks to switch our debit card over to a credit card? I am going to say no. You can ask them no, but I don't know how that would work. It's a completely different system. Like the and I don't. It's a completely different type of system. He said, "Boy, don't play," and I don't. Hey, man, I joke and play around with a lot of things except for my name. That's how you activate the beast. All right. Oh man, as real as they come, man. As real as they come. With that being said, any questions you might have, I'm here to help. Somebody said the other day I don't respond to comments, so I figured I'd be here live. I could at least, respond to some comments live. Cause who knows what happens when I get off this broadcast? Cause I got a business to run. You know. All right. So how to stop using debit? Well, the so the question is, how do you stop using debit? Whenever you swipe, so there's a couple ways. Number one, whenever you swipe the card and it asks you to enter your PIN, hit the cancel or X button. And what that will usually do is it'll turn the transaction into a credit transaction where you don't have to enter your PIN. It's either that or you legitimately just get a credit card. So here's the thing, y'all. You don't have to have good credit to get a credit card. There is a such thing as a secured credit card. The same money that you would have in your bank account when you're making debit card purchases, you could allocate some money to a secured credit card, and that way you can just use that, pay the card off, and then you actually build your credit instead of worrying about these scammers draining your bank account. So that question says, do we simply ask our bank for the tap and go with a little Wi-Fi emblem? Chances are your card has it already. I actually did the reverse. I asked my bank to not give me a tap to pay card. That's just for my business accounts, personal preference. If somebody tries to get some money from my personal accounts, it's fine. But I didn't want anything happening with my business account, so I had them give me cards without the tap to pay. And it's so funny whenever I go shopping at places, they're like, just tap it. I'm like, just don't tap, baby. Just don't tap. Just don't tap. But yeah, if you look at your car, it should be on there. Or you can also just add the card to your Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, and make the purchases that way. Yep, yep. So can you get cash out without being penalized on a Visa? It depends on your bank. Don't get me up here lying. B. Clark, what up? Okay, so tap to pay is more secure than using your PIN for PO. Absolutely. So the reason why it's more secure, whenever you add your card number into the wallet, what actually gets tossed to the POS is not your card number. So think back to the good old PCI DSS standard. What it does is it creates a virtual token of your card, and the token information is what gets sent to the actual POS terminal, not your actual card number. And that token is only good for the point that it's being used. So if that token is intercepted or grabbed, it is useless. And those things rotate. So if you have an iPhone, if you were to look in your wallet and look at the card number, it's actually going to show you something completely different than what your card number is. By the way, that's actually really good for refunds when you call somebody and say that they ask you for the last four digits of your card number and you give them what's actually on your card number and they're like, yeah, we don't have a record of your payment. And then you be getting all upset. It's like, I know you didn't. I know I paid. Just check the virtual thing. So, so are scammers ever caught and prosecuted? Heck yeah, they are. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, law enforcement here in the States has limited capacity to do things. So the people who get prosecuted are typically whales. What do I mean by that? These little fish that take, five, 10, $15,000 around here, like they usually make it off unless they're like caught in the act. But usually task force and financial resources are put behind catching these big guys that are stealing millions, hundreds of thousands. So yeah, sometimes they're caught. Heck, on this channel, I've showed several of them that are being caught with some elaborate scams, scamming the elderly out of their money, pretending to have them invest in gold, and the FBI is going to secure your account with the gold reserve. Whole bunch of crazy stuff. But yeah, B. Clark, in terms of security, the digital wallet is the most secure right now. Now, it is the most secure, but it has its vulnerabilities as well. But you got to understand anything that is man made can be man broken. And truth be told, the same people who are creating the technology to secure payments just may or may not be influencing the people who are breaking the stuff. Let me give y'all some insight that you might not have considered. Whenever a piece of technology comes out, a new payment process, a tool, companies are actually they hire people to pen test that, meaning penetration test it. We want to see if you can break into this. And if so, how far can you get? What information can you get out of this? So the information is provided to people who have ethical hacking ability, but not all of the people who are doing ethical hacking are ethical people. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yep. What up, Jacqueline? Any more questions for me? It's an interesting cat and mouse game we play here in cybersecurity. It's always open. So with that being said, y'all let me know what videos y'all trying to see next. Asking for a friend sure would make the content creation process easier. Let me know. Let me know. And if you're on here, if you're working in tech and looking for a way to, turn your tech expertise into a business, I mean, I started a new YouTube channel like a few days ago. That's where it's going to be at. Are online purchases easier to be scammed than, I assume that's in-store purchases? Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's less riskier. It's just easier because what you can do is go online to the dark web. You can buy what they call a dump, which is just a list of credit card numbers. You get credit card, debit card numbers, expiration dates, CVVs numbers, addresses. You can buy them in bulk. I'm talking about hundreds, thousands of cars at a time if you want to, and you could just buy things online. Yep. So what I've seen what scammers do, they'll typically buy something that they can convert to cash that doesn't have to be shipped to them, such as gift cards that can be printed, e-gift cards, adding funds to different gift cards, or shipping some merchandise to I won't say a friend, but a location where they could grab the property. Yeah. So it's a lot of that. A lot of that. That's why you got to be hyper vigilant on your bank accounts. Have alerts set up, notifications, like for all transaction amounts. Uh, so, have you done any content on gift card purchases and scammers? I sure have. I sure have. Yeah, I actually did one. I don't remember when that was. Um, there was a very large criminal ring of scammers that were stealing credit cards. Sorry, not credit cards, gift cards at Target and other places. And so when you would actually go to the store to buy a gift card, as soon as you would activate it, the money would be gone. I don't even remember the full extent of it, but yeah, I made a YouTube video about that. It's crazy, crazy. Folks be out here stealing for real, stealing for real. All right, well, good people. Apparently, I got some meetings coming up, so let me get off here. I wasn't supposed to be on here. I was sneaking on. I hope that y'all have a most wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.